Hello, everyone. I'm Emma from EFL USA. Welcome to Practical English for Life in America. Before we start, close your eyes for 1 second. Imagine your phone rings. It's the doctor's office. The receptionist talks fast. She says, "Can you come in Tuesday at 9? Or would Thursday afternoon work better for you?" No pause, no slow voice, just fast, real American English. Could you answer in 3 seconds without translating in your head first? If your answer is no, not really, that's exactly why you're here today. That's exactly the gap we're going to close. Today's practice is about phone calls and appointments. This is one of the scariest parts of daily life in America for a new immigrant. Not because the English is hard. It's because you don't have time to think. On the phone, there's no face, no body language, no chance to point at something. Just voice, speed, and pressure. And today we fix that. By the end of this video, you will be able to answer real appointment questions on the phone. Fast, clear, and without freezing. Quick note before we begin. If this is your first time watching, welcome, genuinely. This is a complete standalone practice session. You don't need any previous lesson to follow along. Just listen, speak out loud, and repeat after me when I ask you to. If you want the full journey later, the playlist is in the pinned comment. But for now, everything you need is right here. One more thing before the story starts. If this video helps you, tap subscribe now so the next lesson finds you automatically. Okay, let's begin. Her name is Daniela. She moved to the United States 8 months ago from a small town to live near her sister in a mid-size American city. Daniela is smart. She's hardworking. She already understands a lot of English when she reads it. Menace, signs, text messages, no problem. But phone calls? Phone calls are her nightmare. Because on the phone, the words come fast. There's no time to stop, no time to look anything up, no time to read anyone's lips. It's a Tuesday morning. Daniela's daughter, Sophia, has had a bad cough for 3 days. Daniela decides it's time to call the pediatrician's office and get an appointment. She sits at the kitchen table. She has a small notebook open in front of her, a pen in her hand, and her heart is already beating a little faster. She takes a breath. She dials the number. The phone rings twice. Then a voice answers, quick and businesslike. "Good morning, Riverside Pediatrics. This is Karen. How can I help you?" Daniela's mind goes blank for half a second. Then she remembers the sentence she practiced in the mirror that morning. "Hi, I'd like to make an appointment for my daughter, please." Good. Clear. Simple. That part went fine. But then Karen speaks again, faster this time. "Okay, sure. Is this a sick visit or a well visit?" Daniela freezes. Sick visit? Well visit? She understands the word sick. She understands the word well. But together, in this order, fast, without context, for 1 second, the sentence doesn't make sense to her. Her hand grips the pen a little tighter. This is the risky moment. This is the exact moment thousands of immigrants face every single day, and this is the moment we're going to train for today together. Now, let's pause the story right here, because this pause is exactly what today's lesson is about. In America, when you call a doctor's office, they almost always ask you this first. Is this a sick visit or a well visit? A sick visit means your child, or you, is sick right now, today, with symptoms. A well visit means a normal checkup, when nothing is wrong, just a routine visit. This is one of the most common phone questions in the entire healthcare system, and almost no textbook teaches it. Let's learn it right now, so that next time you already know it before it comes. Listen to me first. Is this a sick visit or a well visit? Listen again. Is this a sick visit or a well visit? Now, shadow it. Repeat after me, out loud, right now. Is this a sick visit or a well visit? Good. Say it one more time, a little faster. Sick visit or well visit? Perfect. That phrase is now in your ear. It won't surprise you again. And here is Daniela's answer, the one she should give. It's a sick visit. She has a cough. Listen. It's a sick visit. She has a cough. Now you say it. Repeat after me. It's a sick visit. One more time with the reason. It's a sick visit. She has a cough. Excellent. Notice something important here. You don't need a long, perfect sentence. 4 words. It's a sick visit is already a complete, correct, natural answer. You don't need more grammar than that. You need speed and clarity, not complexity. Back to Daniela. She takes a small breath, and this time she remembers the phrase from a video she watched 2 nights ago. Actually, this exact kind of practice. And she says clearly, it's a sick visit. She has a cough. Karen replies immediately, okay, got it. And how old is she? Daniela answers without hesitation this time. She's 4. Short. Simple. Correct. Karen continues, still fast. All right. Does she have a fever? Daniela says, no fever. Just the cough, and she's a little tired. Karen types something and says, okay, we do have an opening today at 11:15 or tomorrow morning at 9. Which one works better for you? And here comes the second risky moment. Times. Numbers. Fast, spoken numbers with no writing on the screen to help you. 11:15. 9. If your brain is even half a second slow translating numbers, you can lose the appointment or agree to a time that doesn't actually work for you just because you were too embarrassed to ask again. Again. This happens constantly in real life to real people. So let's train this exact moment right now. Listen to how Americans say appointment times fast in real conversation. Listen. We have an opening at 11:15 or 9 tomorrow morning. Listen again, a little slower this time. 11:15 or 9 tomorrow morning. Now, shadow it. Repeat after me. 11:15. Good. Again, 9 tomorrow morning. Good. One more full round. We have 11:15 or 9 tomorrow morning. Say it out loud right now. Don't skip this. Your mouth needs to practice this, not just your ears. Now here's something extremely useful, a survival trick that no textbook gives you. If someone says a time fast on the phone and you don't catch it completely, you don't have to panic and you don't have to hang up embarrassed. You can simply say, "Sorry, can you say that time again?" That's it. 5 words. Completely normal, completely polite, used by native speakers all the time too, not just learners. Let's practice it. Listen. Sorry, can you say that time again? Now you say it. Repeat after me. Sorry, can you say that time again? One more time, a little faster and more casual. Sorry, one more time. Both are correct. Both are natural. Memorize both. Daniela, in our story, actually needs this phrase. Karen said the times quickly, and Daniela isn't 100% sure she heard 11:15 correctly. Was it 11:15 or 11:50? These two numbers sound dangerously close on the phone, especially with background noise. In the old days, before Daniela started practicing English seriously, she would have just said okay to avoid embarrassment and shown up at the wrong time or missed the appointment completely. But today, she does something different. She says, "Sorry, can you say that time again? Was it 11:15? Karen answers warmly, "Yes, 11:15. That's right." Daniela feels her shoulders relax just a little. She got it. She didn't guess. She asked, and it worked. This is the exact life skill we're building today. Not perfect grammar, not a big vocabulary, but the confidence to ask again when you need to, instead of guessing and hoping. That single habit, asking again instead of guessing, will save you more stress in America than almost any grammar rule you'll ever learn. Let's continue the call because Daniela isn't finished yet. Karen asks one more question, and it's a question that stops almost every immigrant the first few times they hear it. "Okay, and what's your insurance?" Daniela's stomach tightens slightly. Insurance. This word, and the whole topic around it, feels like a wall for so many new arrivals. Not because the English is hard, but because the whole system is unfamiliar. And on the phone, there's no time to think it through calmly. Let's slow this word down together right now, so it never scares you again. Insurance. Listen to the word alone. Insurance. Listen again. Insurance. Now shadow it. Repeat after me, slowly first. In-sur-anse. Good. Now at normal speed, insurance. One more time, full confidence. Insurance. Now let's learn what it actually means in the simplest way possible. Insurance, in this context, means the card, the company, that helps pay for your doctor visit. When someone asks, "What's your insurance?" they simply want to know the name of that company so they can check if the doctor's office accepts it. That's all. Nothing more complicated than that. Here are 2 short, safe answers you can use depending on your real situation. If you have insurance, you can say, "I have Blue Cross." Or with any company name, "I have company name." Listen, "I have Blue Cross." Repeat after me. I have Blue Cross. Now try it with a different name. Just replace the company. I have Aetna. Good. And if you don't have insurance yet, or you're not sure, there is a completely safe, completely normal sentence you can use. I don't have insurance yet. Can I still make an appointment? Listen. I don't have insurance yet. Can I still make an appointment? Repeat after me, all together. I don't have insurance yet. Good. One more time, the full sentence. I don't have insurance yet. Can I still make an appointment? This sentence matters so much because many immigrants avoid calling doctors at all simply because they're afraid this question will end the call badly. It won't. Most offices have an answer for you, one way or another, and asking clearly, calmly, in a complete sentence is always better than staying silent out of fear. In Daniela's case, she does have insurance through her new job, so she answers Karen's question directly. I have Blue Cross. Karen replies, Great, we take that. Can I get her date of birth? And here comes another very common phone moment. Being asked for a date, spoken out loud, fast, with no form in front of you to fill in visually. This is different from reading a date on paper. This is producing a date out loud under time pressure. Let's train this too because it comes up constantly. Not just at doctors' offices, but at pharmacies, at the DMV, at schools, everywhere in American daily life. Listen to how a date of birth sounds naturally in conversation. March 5th, 2021. Listen again a little slower. March 5th, 2021. Now shadow it. Repeat after me. March 5th. Good. Again. 2021. Now put it together. March 5th, 2021. Notice something about how Americans say years like this out loud on the phone. They often break the year into two parts, like 2021, instead of saying every single digit separately. This is exactly the kind of small, real detail that textbooks skip, but that changes everything the first time you actually hear it on a real call. Daniela answers. March 5th, 2021. Karen confirms it back to her, reading it from the screen. March 5th, 2021. Got it. And then, finally, the moment of relief. Okay, you're all set for today at 11:15. Please bring her insurance card. Anything else I can help you with? This is the ending question almost every American phone call ends with, in some form. Anything else I can help you with? Or sometimes just anything else. It's short, it's automatic, and it's your cue that the call is finishing. You have two simple, safe choices here. If you're done, you say, no, that's all, thank you. Listen, no, that's all, thank you. Repeat after me. No, that's all, thank you. And if you do have one more question, you simply say, actually, yes, one more question. Listen, actually, yes, one more question. Repeat after me. Actually, yes, one more question. Both phrases are short, polite, and instantly usable in almost any phone call in America, not just doctors' offices. Daniela, in this moment, actually does have one more small worry. She's not completely sure where the office is because she's new to this side of the city. So instead of just saying, "No, that's all," and hanging up nervous, she uses the second phrase. She says, "Actually, yes. One more question. What's the address?" And Karen gives her the address, clearly, slowly, because Daniela asked with confidence, not with panic. The call ends. Daniela puts down the phone, and she sits there for just a second, feeling something she hasn't felt in a long time on an English phone call. Calm. Not perfect English, not zero mistakes. Just calm, clear, and understood. That, right there, is the entire goal of today's lesson. Not to sound like a native speaker. Not to know every grammar rule. Just to stay calm. Ask clearly when you're not sure. And answer in short, complete sentences without freezing. Let's keep building this skill together, because Daniela's story isn't finished yet, and neither is your practice. Before we continue, let's do one full round of shadowing, all the phrases from this part of the story, back to back, no stopping. I'll say each one. You repeat it immediately after me, out loud, right now. Don't just listen in your head. Ready? Go. Is this a sick visit or a well visit? It's a sick visit. Sorry, can you say that time again? I have Blue Cross. I don't have insurance yet. Can I still make an appointment? March 5th, 2021. No. That's all, thank you. Actually, yes, one more question. Good. That was 8 real phrases straight from an actual phone call, and you just said every single one of them out loud. That's not theory anymore. That's muscle memory forming. Right now, in your mouth and in your ear at the same time. Now, let's slow down for just a moment and think about something real. Daniela told her sister later that evening about the call, and her sister asked her, "Were you nervous?" And Daniela said something simple, but true. A little, but not as nervous as before. I knew what to say when she asked about the visit type. I knew what to say about the insurance. I didn't understand everything perfectly, but I understood enough, and when I didn't, I just asked her to repeat it. That's it. That was enough. That's it. That was enough. Let that sentence sit with you for a second, because it's true for you, too, right now, today, wherever you are in your English journey. You don't need to understand 100% of every phone call to succeed. You need enough vocabulary, enough confidence, and enough courage to ask again when you need to. That combination, enough plus courage, is stronger than perfect grammar. It always has been. Now, let's move into the next part of today's practice, where we take the exact phrases from Daniela's phone call and we drill them fast, one after another, so they become automatic in your own voice, in your own future phone calls. Because next time, it might not be a pediatrician's office. It might be a dentist. It might be a hair salon. It might be your child's school. Calling about a schedule change, the pattern is almost always the same. And once you own that pattern, every single one of those calls gets easier. Let's start building your personal phone call toolkit. I'm going to give you a small set of fixed sentence patterns, the kind you can reuse in almost any appointment call, no matter what the topic is. Listen first, then shadow every single time, no skipping. Part 1. I'd like to make an appointment for. You can finish this sentence with almost anything. Yourself, your child, a checkup, a cleaning. Listen. I'd like to make an appointment for my son. Repeat after me. I'd like to make an appointment for my son. Now try a different ending. I'd like to make an appointment for a checkup. Repeat after me. I'd like to make an appointment for a checkup. One more. I'd like to make an appointment for next week. Repeat. I'd like to make an appointment for next week. Notice how one small pattern, I'd like to make an appointment for, opens the door to dozens of real situations just by changing the ending. This is exactly how native-level fluency works for beginners. Not memorizing 1,000 separate sentences, but owning a small number of strong patterns and filling them in quickly in the moment. Part 2. Can you say that again, please? This is your safety net for any moment on any call when you miss something. A time, a name, a number, an address, anything at all. Listen, can you say that again, please? Repeat after me. Can you say that again, please? Now, a shorter, more casual version, which is just as natural. Sorry, one more time. Repeat after me. Sorry, one more time. Pattern 3. Does that work for you, or its opposite direction? Does that time work for me? Used when confirming a schedule. Listen. Does 11 work for you? Repeat after me. Does 11 work for you? And now, answering it yourself. Yes, that works. Repeat. Yes, that works. Or if it doesn't. No, that doesn't work. Do you have anything later? Listen again, a bit slower. No, that doesn't work. Do you have anything later? Repeat after me, full sentence. No, that doesn't work. Do you have anything later? This is such an important phrase because so many immigrants say yes to a time that genuinely doesn't work for them, purely out of politeness or fear of pushing back on the phone. But in America, saying, no, that doesn't work. Do you have anything later? Is completely normal, completely polite, and expected. Nobody will think badly of you for asking for a different time. In fact, receptionists hear this dozens of times a day. From everyone, not just from immigrants. Part 4. Giving your phone number clearly, digit by digit, because this comes up on almost every single appointment call. Near the end, when they ask, can I get a good number to reach you? Listen to how Americans naturally group phone numbers when speaking. 212-55-1234. Repeat after me, slowly, digit group by digit group. 212. Good. 555. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now say the whole number together at a natural pace. 212-555-1234. This small skill saying numbers in groups instead of one long, unbroken string makes an enormous difference in how clearly you're understood on a call, and it's rarely taught directly anywhere. Practice grouping numbers like this every time you give any number out loud, and you'll notice people on the other end asking you to repeat far less often. Let's bring Daniela back into the story for just one more moment. Mod, mod, moment. Because there's a small but meaningful detail we haven't covered yet. A week after that first call, Daniela's daughter, Sophia, is completely better. But now it's Daniela's turn. She needs to schedule her own appointment, a dentist this time, for a cleaning. And this time, something is different. She picks up the phone, and instead of that familiar tightness in her chest, she feels something closer to routine, almost boring. In the best possible way, the receptionist answers. Hello, Bright Smile Dental. This is Ashley. Daniela responds immediately, without a script in front of her this time. Hi, I'd like to make an appointment for a cleaning. Ashley asks. Sure, have you been here before? Daniela says. No, this is my first time. Ashley continues. Okay, no problem. Do you have insurance with us, or would this be self-pay? And here it comes again. Insurance. But this time, Daniela doesn't freeze at all. She simply says, I have Blue Cross. Ashley checks and says, Perfect. We do take that. What day works best for you? Daniela, remembering pattern 3 from today's practice, answers confidently, Does Friday morning work? Ashley checks the schedule and says, We have 9:30 or 10:15 on Friday. And Daniela, without any panic at all, simply picks one. 9:30 is great. Notice what happened in that entire second phone call. Almost every single sentence Daniela used was something we practiced today in this exact lesson, just reused in a slightly different situation. That is not an accident, and it's not luck. That is exactly how real fluency grows. One true, useful pattern at a time, practiced out loud until it becomes automatic and then reused. Again and again, in every new situation, life throws at you. Before we move to the next part of today's practice, take a moment and really feel this. The very first call with the pediatrician, Daniela's heart was racing. Her hand gripped a pen tightly. She almost froze at the words, sick visit or well visit. The second call, 1 week later with the dentist, was almost calm, almost easy. Nothing magical happened between those two calls. She simply practiced the exact phrases we just went through together out loud, more than once. That is the entire secret. Not talent, not some special language gift. Just repetition, out loud, with real phrases connected to real, risky, believable situations. Exactly like the ones we've been building today. And that brings us to a full, fast round of shadowing again. This time combining everything from both parts of Daniela's story. Back to back, no explanations, just pure reaction. Ready? Listen, then shadow. Immediately, out loud. I'd like to make an appointment for a cleaning. No, this is my first time. I have Blue Cross. Does Friday morning work? 9:30 is great. Can you say that again, please? No, that doesn't work. Do you have anything later? 212-555-1234. Good. Feel that. Feel how much faster and more natural that round felt compared to the very first phrases we practiced at the beginning of today's lesson. That's not your imagination. That's real progress happening inside your mouth and your ear in real time in one single practice session. We are going to keep building on this exact foundation in the next part of today's lesson, moving even faster with even more real appointment situations. A phone call that gets rescheduled at the last minute. Not a voicemail you need to leave when nobody answers. And a moment where the person on the phone talks so fast that even a confident learner needs to ask them to slow down. All of it connected, all of it real, all of it TTS ready for you to shadow right here in this same practice session. Let's continue exactly where we left off, moving straight into the next situation, because real life on the phone doesn't wait for a clean starting point. It just keeps coming, one call after another, and that's exactly why we're training for it this way. 3 weeks after that dentist appointment, Daniela's life gets a little busier. Her son, Mateo, who is 7, has a routine eye exam scheduled for Wednesday afternoon. But on Tuesday evening, Daniela realizes something. Her work shift changed unexpectedly. And now, she can't make that Wednesday time. She needs to call and reschedule. And rescheduling, it turns out, is its own small skill, with its own vocabulary, slightly different from booking a brand new appointment. She dials the number for the eye clinic. It rings. And a recorded voice picks up first. Thank you for calling Clearview Family Eye Care. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Please hold for the next available representative. Daniela waits, holding the phone against her ear, and after about 30 seconds, a real voice comes on. Clearview Eye Care, this is Brianna. How can I help you? Daniela takes a breath and says the sentence she needs. One we haven't practiced yet today, but one that comes up constantly in real life. Hi, I need to reschedule an appointment. Let's stop the story right here, because this exact sentence deserves its own moment of practice, since it's slightly different from I'd like to make an appointment, which we already trained earlier. Listen carefully. I need to reschedule an appointment. Listen again, a little slower. I need to reschedule an appointment. Now shadow it. Repeat after me, out loud, right now. I need to reschedule an appointment. Good. One more time, a little faster, the way it actually sounds in real conversation. I need to reschedule an appointment. Now, let's learn the word reschedule by itself, because it's a longer word, and longer words are exactly the ones that make learners feel shy about saying out loud. But it's simpler than it looks. Re means again, and schedule means to plan a time. So reschedule just means to plan a new time instead of the old one. Listen to the word alone. Reschedule. Repeat after me slowly in 3 parts. Re-ski. Ool. Now put it together. Reschedule. One more time. Full confidence. Reschedule. Brianna responds to Daniela, "Sure, no problem. What's the name on the appointment?" Daniela answers clearly, "Mateo Ramirez." Brianna types for a second, then says, "Got it. I see him for Wednesday at 2:30. What day would you like to move it to?" And here, Daniela uses something we already trained in the first part of today's lesson. She doesn't just say a random day. She offers a real option and checks if it works, exactly like pattern 3 from before. She says, "Does Friday afternoon work instead?" Brianna checks and says, "Let me look. Yes, we have 3 o'clock on Friday." And Daniela, using the confirmation phrase we already know, simply says, "That works, thank you." Brianna confirms, "Okay, you're all set for Friday at 3. Notice something powerful here. That entire rescheduling call was handled almost completely using phrases we already built earlier in this same lesson, plus just 2 new pieces. I need to reschedule an appointment, and the word reschedule itself. This is exactly how real English fluency grows in daily life, layered on top of a foundation you already own, not starting from zero every single time. Let's do a quick shadow round for this rescheduling moment specifically, because it's common enough in real life that it deserves its own drill. Ready? Listen, then repeat immediately. I need to reschedule an appointment. Does Friday afternoon work instead? That works. Thank you. Reschedule. Good. Now let's move to a completely different, very common phone situation. One that actually scares many immigrants even more than talking to a real person. And that's leaving a voicemail. Why is a voicemail scarier for many people than a live conversation? Because with a real person, if you make a small mistake, you can fix it right away, ask again, get help. But a voicemail feels final. You record it once, in your head at least, and it's done. There's a strange pressure to get it right the first time. But here's the good news, and I want you to really hear this. You can absolutely pause, restart, and even hang up and call again if your voicemail doesn't come out right. Nobody is judging you. Nobody remembers a slightly awkward voicemail from a stranger. What matters is that you communicate the key information clearly. And there's actually a very simple, very reusable structure for that, which we're going to build together right now. Let's go back to Daniela's world for this one. A few weeks later, she needs to call her landlord's maintenance line because the kitchen sink has started leaking slowly under the cabinet. She calls the number on her lease. It rings 4 times and then goes to voicemail. You've reached the maintenance line for Oakwood Apartments. Please leave your name, unit number, and a brief description of the issue, and we'll return your call within 24 hours. This is a slightly stressful moment for a lot of people because now Daniela has about 10 seconds after the beep to organize her thoughts in English with no one on the other end to help her, ask her questions, or slow down for her. So let's build a simple four-part voicemail structure right now, one you can reuse for almost any voicemail you'll ever need to leave in America. Doctors' offices, landlords, schools, repair services, anything. Part 1 of a good voicemail. Say your name clearly. Listen. Hi. This is Daniela Ramirez. Repeat after me. Hi, this is Daniela Ramirez. Now try it with your own name in your head, silently. Then say it out loud with your real name. Hi, this is... Say your own name now, out loud, right now, using this exact pattern. Part 2. Give the key detail, unit number, appointment, or reason for calling. Listen, I'm in apartment 204. Repeat after me. I'm in apartment 204. Part 3. Describe the problem or reason in one short, simple sentence. Don't try to explain everything perfectly, just the main point. Listen, my kitchen sink is leaking. Repeat after me. My kitchen sink is leaking. One more example, a different situation entirely, just so you see how flexible this pattern is. My son has a dentist appointment I need to change. Repeat after me. My son has a dentist appointment I need to change. Part 4. Give a callback request and your number grouped clearly, the way we practiced earlier today. Listen, please call me back at 212-555-1234. Repeat after me in groups. Please call me back at, then the number in groups. 212-555-1234. Now the full sentence together. Please call me back at 212-555-1234. Now let's put the whole four-part structure together, the way Daniela actually says it into the phone after the beep. Listen to the whole voicemail as one connected message. Hi, this is Daniela Ramirez in apartment 204. My kitchen sink is leaking under the cabinet. Please call me back at 212-555-1234. Thank you. That's it. Name, location, or key detail, the problem in one short sentence, and a callback number spoken in groups. 4 simple parts, every single time, no matter what the voicemail is about. Let's shadow the entire message together now, in full, out loud, exactly like Daniela said it. Repeat after me, piece by piece. Hi, this is Daniela Ramirez. In apartment 204, my kitchen sink is leaking under the cabinet. Please call me back at 212-555-1234. Thank you. Excellent. Now say the entire voicemail, start to finish, in one breath, out loud, right now, as if you were really leaving it. Hi, this is Daniela Ramirez in apartment 204. My kitchen sink is leaking under the cabinet. Please call me back at 212-555-1234. Thank you. Feel that entire, slightly scary task. Leaving a full voicemail in English with no one to help you in the moment just became a simple 4-part pattern you can reuse for the rest of your life in America. For practically any situation, That is the real power of practical English training. Not memorizing 1,000 random sentences, but owning a small number of strong, flexible structures. Now, let's talk about one more real situation, one that comes up constantly, and honestly, one that even confident English speakers sometimes need. Asking someone on the phone to slow down. This is not embarrassing. This is not a sign of weak English. Native speakers ask each other to slow down on the phone all the time too, especially with bad phone connections, background noise, or people who simply talk fast by nature. Let's return to Daniela's story one more time for this. It's a Monday morning, and Daniela calls her son's school because Mateo woke up with a slight fever and she needs to report his absence. The school secretary who answers, a woman named Pam, happens to talk very quickly, almost rushing through her words. The way some people naturally do, especially during a busy morning at an elementary school office, Pam answers, "Lincoln Elementary. This is Pam. Go ahead." Daniela says, "Hi, I'm calling to report an absence for my son." Pam responds immediately, speaking fast. "Okay, sure. What's his name and grade and teacher's name? And is he going to be out just today, or do you know for how long?" All of that said as almost one long breath without clear pauses. For a moment, Daniela's brains simply can't separate all those questions fast enough. This is completely normal, and it happens to language learners constantly, not because they don't know the words. Not they don't know the words, but because the questions come stacked together with no breathing room. And this is exactly the moment where a huge number of people just start guessing, saying yes or okay to things they didn't fully understand, hoping it works out. But Daniela, today, does something different. Something we're about to train together right now. She says, calmly, politely, "Sorry, could you slow down a little, please?" Let's stop and really learn this sentence, because it might be one of the most useful phrases in this entire lesson. Listen. Could you slow down a little, please? Listen again. A bit slower, exactly as you should say it. Could you slow down a little, please? Now shadow it. Repeat after me. Could you slow down a little, please? One more time, a shorter, more casual version, just as acceptable. Sorry, a little slower, please. Repeat after me. Sorry, a little slower, please. Pam, hearing this, does exactly what almost every person on a phone call will do when asked politely. She slows down immediately, without any negative reaction at all. She says, "Oh, sorry, no problem. What's his name?" And now, one question at a time, clearly, Daniela can answer easily. Mateo Ramirez. And his grade? 2nd grade. Teacher's name? Mrs. Coleman. And will he be out just today? Yes, just today, I think. Notice something very important in this exchange, something I want you to really absorb. Asking someone to slow down did not make Daniela look weak, or less capable, or less intelligent. It made the entire conversation faster, smoother, and clearer for both people. Pam wasn't annoyed. She simply adjusted the way most people naturally do, because most people genuinely want to be understood, and they'll gladly slow down if you ask politely. Mauve, this is one of the biggest emotional shifts we want you to make today. Not just a language shift, but a mindset shift. Asking for clarity is not a failure. It is a skill. It is, in fact, one of the most advanced communication skills there is in any language for any speaker, native or not. Let's do a fast shadow round, combining everything from this second part of today's lesson. The rescheduling call, the voicemail structure, and the slow down request, all together, back to back, no stopping, no explanation, just pure reaction. Ready? Listen, then repeat immediately, out loud. I need to reschedule an appointment. Does Friday afternoon work instead? Hi, this is Daniela Ramirez. My kitchen sink is leaking under the cabinet. Please call me back at 212-555-1234. Could you slow down a little, please? Sorry. A little slower, please. Good. Now, let's move into a fast pattern drill round, the way we started building earlier today. But this time, focus specifically on rescheduling, voicemails, and slowing someone down. 3 brand new patterns from this part of the lesson, drilled quickly, with several real variations each, so they truly become automatic in your mouth. Bart taught 1, rescheduling. I need to reschedule. Listen. I need to reschedule my appointment. Repeat after me. I need to reschedule my appointment. Now, a variation. I need to reschedule my son's appointment. Repeat after me. I need to reschedule my son's appointment. One more variation. I need to reschedule for next week. Repeat after me. I need to reschedule for next week. Pattern 2. Offering an alternative time, reused from earlier, but now applied to rescheduling specifically. Does day work instead? Listen. Does Monday work instead? Repeat after me. Does Monday work instead? Another. Does next Tuesday work instead? Repeat after me. Does next Tuesday work instead? Pattern 3, the voicemail opener, which you can now use for almost any voicemail situation. Hi, this is your name. I'm calling about. Listen. Hi, this is Daniela. I'm calling about my son's appointment. Repeat after me. Hi, this is Daniela. I'm calling about my son's appointment. Now try it with a different topic. Hi, this is Daniela. I'm calling about a leak in my apartment. Repeat after me. Hi, this is Daniela. I'm calling about a leak in my apartment. Pattern 4, the slow down request in 2 different levels of formality, both completely acceptable in real life. Formal version, could you slow down a little, please? And casual version, sorry, a little slower. Let's shadow both back to back. Could you slow down a little, please? Sorry, a little slower. Excellent work. You just trained 4 brand new, extremely reusable patterns on top of everything from earlier. Rescheduling, leaving a structured voicemail, and asking someone to slow down without any embarrassment at all. These 3 skills alone will completely change how confident you feel picking up the phone or dialing a number for almost any appointment-related situation you'll face living in America. Let's take a short emotional pause here, because I want to say something directly to you, the person listening right now, not just to Daniela's story. If phone calls in English have been something you avoid, if you've ever asked a friend, a coworker, even your own child, to make a call for you, simply because the fear of not understanding felt too big, I want you to know that feeling is completely normal, and it does not mean your English is bad. It means phone calls are genuinely one of the hardest parts of a new language. For everyone, in every country, in every language combination in the world. The fact that you're here practicing this exact skill out loud right now already puts you ahead of where you were yesterday. And here's something else worth remembering. Every single phrase we've practiced today is short. 4 words, 5 words, 6 words, maximum. In almost every single example, you don't need long, complicated sentences to handle real phone calls in America. You need short, clear, correct sentences, said with confidence, and the courage to ask again when something isn't clear. That combination, short sentences plus real confidence, will take you further than trying to speak in long, complicated, impressive English ever will. Let's continue building Daniela's world just a little further into one more real situation before we move toward the final part of today's lesson, because there's one more common phone moment we haven't covered yet, and it's an important one. What happens when you call and the appointment you wanted is completely full, with no openings at all, and you need to ask about a wait list or check back later? This happens constantly in real life. Busy doctor's offices, popular hair salons, in-demand repair services. It's Thursday afternoon, and Daniela calls a well-known hair salon near her apartment because she wants a haircut before a work event the following week. The receptionist, a friendly-sounding man named Diego, checks the schedule and says, "I'm sorry, we're actually fully booked through next Thursday. Would you like me to put you on a wait list in case something opens up?" New situation, new small vocabulary moment, fully booked, and wait list. Let's train both right now. Listen, we're fully booked. Repeat after me. We're fully booked. This simply means there are no more openings at all. The schedule is completely full. Now listen to the second phrase. Would you like to be on a wait list? Repeat after me. Would you like to be on a wait list? A wait list means your name is added to a list, and if another customer cancels their appointment, they might call you with an earlier opening. Daniela, hearing this, doesn't panic and doesn't just say, "Okay, never mind," and hang up disappointed. She uses a phrase that keeps her options open, something you can reuse anytime you hear fully booked. "Sure, please put me on the wait list." And do you have anything the following week? Listen. Please put me on the wait list. Repeat after me. Please put me on the wait list. Now, the second part. Do you have anything the following week? Repeat after me. Do you have anything the following week? Diego checks and says, yes, actually, we have an opening the following Tuesday at 10. And Daniela, using our confirmation phrase from earlier today, simply says, that works, thank you. Booked. Handled. Calm, let's shadow this final small set of phrases together right now. We're fully booked. Would you like to be on a wait list? Please put me on the wait list. Do you have anything the following week? That works. Thank you. We have now built a genuinely complete toolkit for real appointment phone calls in America. Booking a brand new appointment. Answering questions about visit type and insurance, confirming times and dates. Asking someone to repeat something. Rescheduling an existing appointment, leaving a clear 4-part voicemail, a hassid. Politely asking someone to slow down, and handling a fully booked schedule with a waitlist request. That is not a small list. That is, genuinely, almost everything a person needs to handle the vast majority of real phone calls connected to daily life in America. In our final part of today's lesson, we're going to bring everything together into one fast, complete review, plus one final, slightly more challenging phone call scenario for Daniela, a moment where several of today's skills need to work together at once under real pressure, the way real phone calls actually happen in life. And then we'll close today's practice with a review of every single phrase you've learned so that it's fresh, sharp, and ready in your mind the very next time your phone rings. It's a rainy Friday morning, about 2 months after that very first call to the pediatrician's office. Daniela wakes up to a strange, familiar sound. A small drip, 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 coming from somewhere near the bathroom ceiling. She looks up and sees a small wet stain spreading across the ceiling paint right above the shower. Her stomach drops a little. A ceiling leak in a rented apartment is not a small problem. It needs attention fast before it gets worse. This call is going to be different from all the others today because it needs several skills at once, working together exactly the way real life actually tests you. There's urgency. There's a possible language barrier on the other end, since the maintenance company uses a shared line for multiple properties. And there's real pressure because a spreading water stain doesn't wait politely for you to feel confident. Daniela finds the emergency maintenance number on her lease and dials. It rings once, twice, then a man picks up quickly, sounding a little rushed himself. Metro Property Maintenance. This is Ray. What's the issue? No warm greeting this time. No, how can I help you? Just straight to business, fast. The way emergency lines often sound in real life. Daniela doesn't freeze. She reaches for the 4-part voicemail structure we built earlier today, except now she's using it live with a real person, not a recording, because the structure works just as well either way. She says, "Hi, this is Daniela Ramirez in apartment 204. There's a leak coming through my bathroom ceiling, and it's getting worse." Name. Location. Problem in one clear sentence. Exactly the pattern from before, simply spoken live instead of recorded. Ray responds fast, almost too fast. Okay, is it active? Wait a right now or did it? This is just start. All run together. No clear breaks at all. A genuinely difficult sentence to catch, even for confident English speakers, especially under the stress of an actual emergency happening in your own home. And here, Daniela uses two tools together, back to back, exactly the way real fluency actually works. Combining skills, not using them one at a time in isolation. First, she asks him to slow down. "Sorry, could you say that a little slower, please?" Ray, catching himself, slows down immediately. "Sorry, is there active water right now? Or did this just start?" Now Daniela understands clearly and answers directly. "It just started, about 10 minutes ago. There's a wet spot on the ceiling, and it's dripping a little." Ray asks, "Okay, is it dripping fast or just slow, like a few drops?" Daniela answers, "Just slow, a few drops so far." Ray says, "All right, that's not a full emergency, but we do need to send someone today. Can someone be home this afternoon between 1 and 4? And here comes a scheduling question. Again. But notice, Daniela has now heard variations of this exact kind of question many times throughout today's practice. So instead of feeling like a brand new challenge, it feels almost familiar. She answers, "Yes, I'll be home. Does 1 to 4 work? Should I expect a call before someone comes?" Ray answers, "Yeah, the technician will call about 30 minutes before arriving. Can I get a good number for you?" And here, one final time today, Daniela gives her phone number in clear, grouped digits, exactly the pattern we trained earlier. 212-555-1234. Ray reads it back to confirm. 212-555-1234. Got it. We'll see you this afternoon. Daniela finishes with a phrase we haven't used yet today, but one worth learning quickly because it's incredibly common as a natural closing on almost any phone call. Great. Thank you so much for your help. Listen to that closing phrase. Thank you so much for your help. Repeat after me, out loud, right now. Thank you so much for your help. One more time, slightly shorter, just as natural. Thanks so much. Repeat after me. Thanks so much. The call ends. Again. Daniela sets down the phone, looks up at the small water stain on her bathroom ceiling, and instead of feeling helpless or overwhelmed, she feels something closer to quiet satisfaction. She handled a real emergency on the phone, in her second language, under real pressure. Not perfectly, not without asking for help once along the way, but completely successfully. The technician arrives that afternoon, fixes a small pipe issue above the bathroom, and by evening, the drip has stopped completely. That night, telling her sister about the whole day over video call, Daniela says something worth sitting with for a moment. You know, a few months ago, I would have just waited, hoping it would fix itself because I was too scared to call. Today, I called immediately because I finally believed I could handle whatever they said back to me. That belief, I can handle whatever they say back to me, is exactly what we've been building, piece by piece, phrase by phrase, throughout this entire practice session today. Now, let's bring everything together into one complete, fast review. Every major phrase from today's lesson, back to back, no explanations this time, just pure, rapid shadowing, the way a real reflex gets built. I'll say each phrase, you repeat it immediately, out loud, without hesitating, exactly the way you'd need to respond on a real call. Ready? Let's go. I'd like to make an appointment for, is this a sick visit or a well visit? It's a sick visit. Sorry, can you say that time again? I have Blue Cross. I don't have insurance yet. Can I still make an appointment? March 5th, 2021. No, that's all. Thank you. Actually, yes, one more question. Does Friday morning work? 9:30 is great. No, that doesn't work. Do you have anything later? 212-555-1234. I need to reschedule an appointment. Reschedule. Does Friday afternoon work instead? Hi, this is Daniela Ramirez. I'm in apartment 204. My kitchen sink is leaking. Please call me back at 212-555-1234. Could you slow down a little, please? Sorry, a little slower, please. We're fully booked. Please put me on the wait list. Do you have anything the following week? Thank you so much for your help. Feel that. 26 real phrases, straight from real, believable phone calls. And you just said every single one of them out loud, back to back, without a single long pause to think. That is not a small achievement. That is, genuinely, a full working toolkit for phone calls and appointments in America, ready inside your own mouth, ready inside your own confidence, the very next time your phone rings. Let's do one more round. This time a little faster, a little more like a real reflex test, because repetition, especially fast repetition, is exactly what turns a phrase you understand into a phrase you can actually produce instantly, under pressure without translating first. Listen, then shadow, immediately, no gaps this time. Sick visit or well visit? It's a sick visit. Can you say that again? I have insurance. March 5th. That's all, thank you. Does Friday work? That works, thank you. Reschedule. This is Daniela. My sink is leaking. Call me back at, slow down, please. Fully booked. Wait list, please. Thanks so much. Excellent. That fast round is exactly what a real phone call actually feels like. Short bursts, quick exchanges, no long explanations, just clear, confident, immediate answers. That's the real skill, and you just trained it. Out loud, today, for real. Now, before we close today's practice completely, let's think for one more moment about why this particular skill. Answering phone questions without overthinking matters so much beyond just doctors' offices and dentists and landlords. Every single phone call you handle successfully in English builds something bigger than vocabulary. It builds trust in yourself. It proves, one small call at a time, that you can function fully, completely, in this language, in real situations, with real stakes, even when things move fast, even when you don't understand 100% of every single word. That trust in yourself is worth more than any grammar rule, any vocabulary list, any perfect accent. Because the truth is, you will never need perfect English to live a full, successful, confident life in America. You need functional English. Clear, short, honest sentences, and the courage to ask again when something isn't clear. That is precisely what today's entire lesson has been built around, from the very first ring of Daniela's phone, at her kitchen table, all the way through an emergency ceiling leak call. Calmly, confidently, completely in her second language. Next time, your own phone rings, and it's an unfamiliar number, or an automated system, or a receptionist speaking quickly. I want you to remember Daniela's kitchen table. I want you to remember that even she, someone who once froze completely at the words sick visit or well visit, eventually handled an entire plumbing emergency on the phone, calmly, clearly, successfully. If she could build that skill, phrase by phrase, practice session by practice session, so can you. So can you, starting exactly with what you practiced today, out loud, in this very lesson. Today, you learned how to book an appointment from the very first sentence. You learned how to answer the sick visit or well visit question instantly. You learned how to handle insurance questions without fear, whether you have insurance or not. You learned how to confirm times, dates, and numbers clearly, and what to say when you need something repeated. You learned how to reschedule an existing appointment smoothly. You learned a complete, reusable, 4-part structure for leaving any voicemail, for any reason, to anyone. You learned how to politely, confidently ask someone to slow down without any embarrassment at all. And you learned how to handle a fully booked schedule and ask for a wait list without giving up on getting the appointment you need. That is an enormous amount of real, usable, life-changing English built entirely around one single common fear, the fear of the ringing phone. And today, piece by piece, story by story, phrase by phrase, we took that fear apart together, out loud. If today's practice helped you, even just a little, even if you still feel nervous about your very next real phone call, tap subscribe now so the next lesson in this series finds you automatically. Next time, we're moving into a different kind of pressure. A face-to-face situation this time, not the phone, but the moment when someone at a store, a pharmacy, or an office asks you a question you didn't expect, and you need to answer right there, right in the moment without time to prepare. It builds directly on everything you practice today, especially that one core skill, answering quickly, clearly, and calmly without overthinking every single word first. Until then, keep practicing out loud every single day, even for just a few minutes. Say Daniela's phrases to yourself in the mirror. Say them while you're cooking. Say them quietly on your own commute. The words don't need a real phone call to start working for you. They just need your voice, repeating them again and again until they belong to you completely. Thank you for practicing with me today. I'm Emma from EFL USA, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Keep speaking, keep asking when you need to. And remember, you don't need to think too much. You just need to answer